What's up, everybody? How's it going? We're here to do SmackDown Live review. Again, it was okay show. Not gonna go fucking pop the champagne for the fucking whatever, but so the reason that I'm laughing and all that stuff is accident. Almost had an accident today. Some lady decided and was looking right at me. She just decided to turn.
But what didn't help was she was fucking tailgating the car in front of her.
That's true. She was tailgating the car in front of her. She decided to turn, and the next thing I know, I fucking like slammed on my brakes, and she threw her hands up, fucking did one of these things. And if you can't see me, I was like fucking doing, you know how fucking people
Hands
do
up,
the
don't shoot.
yeah, just the I'm gonna die. But yeah, so we ended up I almost T-boned somebody today, dumbasses, fucking retards. So anyway, on to SmackDown Live. It starts with Shane McMahon. Of course, Shane McMahon starts a show, and he's doing his town hall. This fucking town hall. We'll get into it. You guys can, because I just stopped writing shit down after it started. But Kevin Owens shows up, and he said, "You're an insubordinate piece of shit." Didn't say that, but that's how I would have said it. And he said, "I'm giving you the night off." So he sent him home. Well, that is a great way to start the show, WWE. That's all I'm going to say. Because you knew it was going to happen. Kevin Owens is going to show up. Which he ultimately did at the end of the segment that lasted 15 fucking minutes. It didn't need to last that long. The only thing it did was it gave us matches. And we'll get into that.
It put Roman over a little bit more.
It did put. I will say this: what Roman said, and I will talk about that in a second. Shane starts then they go to the actual live show. Shane McMahon standing in the middle of the ring, and he has Superstar standing up on top of the stage. And Shane McMahon comes out and he starts with his whole spiel like, we got to do this in a respectful way. And essentially what he means by that is, as long as you say nice things about me and don't talk bad about me, you can say whatever you want. It's essentially what it was. So Roman Reigns shows up and says, just stood there for a second, and I'm like, oh God, this is going to be a boring. And actually, he was really short. It was short, to the point, and he left, which I thought was great. He showed up and he said, "No one respects you, and as far as diplomacy goes, you can kiss my ass." And then he walked away. I loved it because, and it got a pop from the crowd. Actually, the crowd actually liked it. I thought it was one of his better promos. What'd you guys think?
I mean, I liked Roman's thing. This is what I don't know. I don't know what happened because like I know that they started out trying to have Roman go over against the McMahons and it did not work.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if it was simply the pairing with the Undertaker from this last pay-per-view, or if it's just a case of it's Shane and Shane has taken on this very Vince McMahon heel type character now.
Do you think he's kind of taken the mantle of Roman Reigns from last year? And people just don't want to fucking see him anymore, and Roman Reigns is a better choice than fucking Shane McMahon?
I think so. I think it's just like it's Roman. With Roman being away for a few months or whatever, people are still like they're kind of sick of him, but they'd rather see him than Shane.
Mm-hmm. Heather wants to say something. Go ahead.
I think it's a mix of that and the fact that, given the fact that he was in this movie, Shaw and Hobbs, with his cousin The Rock, it's made his promo speaking a little better.
He has sounded a little better in his promos. Not much more better, but he has sounded better.
He's gotten a little smoother.
I think that they've loosened the reins on him a little bit, no pun intended. Because like it just seems like his promos are a little bit shorter. They're packed with a little bit more of like how Roman would normally talk,
Okay.
and it's not being forced on him, because that's where the problem was lying.
Mm-hmm.
Was they were forcing him to do these promos that just was not him whatsoever.
Right. Now, again, I'm not sitting here and saying that Roman is the greatest thing since Wonder Bread. He's not. It's just he's gotten better at his promo skills, in my opinion. Basement, what about you?
I mean, don't get me wrong, they're still pushing Roman Reigns.
They are.
They are, but they're not centering the show around him.
Yep.
And that's like a huge blessing for him in terms of developing that promo work, because when the whole show was on his shoulders for the promos and for the action, it looked like it was just too much. He didn't come off natural. He's a bit more natural now. They've got him in he's not in the driver's seat anymore. He's in the passenger seat. Yet they're still doing everything they can in the world to push him. They're handling him pretty good since he came back from cancer. And I think that was like the one thing they needed to do if they wanted to continue to make him the guy eventually.
And look, I want to say this. There is nothing wrong with pushing someone. But like Basement said, making him the focus of the show and having him in 20 segments out of 22 is not the way to do it. Having him come out and do what he did in that promo was great. I thought it was great. Having him in that match with The Undertaker, when he did that spear, I think that's what did it. Him saving The Undertaker.
Mm-hmm.
And The Undertaker, like, why would you save me? Kind of like type deal thing. Or what are you doing? You know, I enjoyed it. I'm not saying that Roman Reigns is the next big thing, but
and he's also not winning every main event spot kind of match, like with the Battle Royale on Monday Night Raw.
No, I mean he's always gonna be in the Final Four, which I don't mind. I mean, goddamn, fucking The Rock was in every Final Four that he was in. Randy Orton, Stone Cold, they were always in those final. They were always one of the final guys in the Royal Rumbles and Battle Royals and stuff. But that's because they were the top guys. You can't just fucking knock out Stone Cold Steve Austin right away and expect them to fucking, people to enjoy it, because they're not going to. They're just not going to.
But you remember when they tried to use The Rock to get Roman over?
Yes.
It was like not organic. It didn't really make a lot of sense. The crowd wasn't really with him, and then you had The Rock hold up his hand randomly, right? Like it was not really random, but there wasn't nothing organic about it.
Right.
With The Undertaker, he now has a past with The Undertaker, facing him multiple times, beating him and pretty much all that shit, and technically almost retiring him when he should have retired.
Right.
But when he comes back and he shows that sign of respect, that was much more organic. That's why the crowd didn't shit on it so much. I think it made a bit more sense. It wasn't just, here's the food, fucking let me shove it down your throat. No, you'll actually kind of enjoy the meal. Like he's being pushed much more organically, and you can see how it's helping him as a character.
I totally agree. Trek, Bobbit, one of you two can go.
Yeah, it's less is more with Roman. I think it worked out really well because he was on there. He said we needed to do it. He left, and that was it. We didn't see him the rest of the night, and I think it worked out. It was like, let him say his piece, let him go away.
Now, since we didn't see him the rest of the night, what do you think they're going to do with him in Summer? You know he's going to be there.
I think that they're going to pin him against Elias.
That's what I say too. I mean, I agree. I was sitting there. We were sitting there today. Y'all know who I'm talking about. He's like, what are they going to do with Roman Reigns if they're not going to have him in the main event? I'm sitting there thinking, and Heather goes, Elias. I said, yeah, that's what I see them doing.
Well, and it makes a lot of sense having Roman. I mean, even though we know that he's ultimately going to be one of the top guys, and he is already, but they're scheduling him in a more of like a mid-card level right now in order to give him time to get over, which is exactly what they should have been doing to begin with.
Right. That's fine. I mean, they did at the beginning when they had him with the Shield, but once Seth Rollins broke away, then when Seth Rollins got hurt, I think that's what because I can almost guarantee you they were going to do a slow build for Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. That's ultimately what they were going to come down to. However, Seth Rollins tears his knee, and it kind of forced them to, because they didn't have anybody else, and it forced them to push Roman Reigns.
Right.
And that go ahead.
Right now, they're doing like a soft rebuild for Roman Reigns. Like, he came back, and like it was pretty public that he was like, when he came back, he was saying, like he's kind of like reevaluating. He doesn't necessarily want.
He wants to be the face of the company, but he doesn't
spotlight.
want to be that overbearing face of the company. He wants to be for the company and help push as many people as he can.
Or push himself. If they want him to be the guy, then he just doesn't want to be at the forefront. And essentially, John Cena ate his ass.
Yeah, because John Cena, you can say whatever you want about him, but what happened with him and what happened to the WWE with him was that because he was at the forefront of everything, everybody else behind him suffered. The company suffered as a whole because you didn't have they stopped building stars essentially because they just continued to build one. And hopefully they don't do that again.
Yep, him and Randy Orton. It's essentially who they were pushing. But Bobbit, what about? I know you're a big proponent for Roman Reigns, and I know we've been on this Roman Reigns thing for a while, but it's kind of a good discussion because I was kind of gonna build, because essentially, and I'm gonna say this, that town hall was built around Roman, because for him to come out and say that and then walk away, I kind of knew he was going to be the center of what they were trying to do. But I mean, he did his thing. You may not have been, he might have been there for 30 seconds, but it was his showcase. Does that make sense? Or no?
It does. I think they also, with that town hall, like what they wanted to do was set structure in place for the rest of the show, and do like these little mini rivalries so that there was some meaning to why these matches were taking place. So I kind of like that. I'm not a fan of the McMahon fucking power trip bullshit that's been done time and time again.
I'm with you.
It always, like, every 6 months there has to be some sort of feud with a McMahon who's in a power hungry state, and it's like, let's please put it to rest. But I like the idea that they tried to create structure for the show, and they did. The 30 seconds that Roman Reigns had helped him immensely.
Yep.
Without having to shove him down anyone's throat.
Yep, and I'm with Basement on this. I mean, if the McMahons are going to have a feud, honestly, I think they should feud amongst themselves.
There we go, brother against sister.
Not even brother against sister. Triple H should be like, Shane, it's enough. It should be Triple H should be the one to do it. But I don't think they'll ever do that. And then have them two feud, but I don't think they'll ever do that.
I'm still waiting for the day when it becomes Becky Lynch versus Stephanie McMahon.
That's not going to happen.
I don't think you're going to see Stephanie McMahon ever wrestle again, to be honest.
No. Well, you might, but
I hope not.
Me too. But Bobby, go ahead. What about you?
Okay. I agree that town hall, Roman absolutely killed it, and when he said he kissed my ass, I died laughing.
I popped. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't expecting to say that, but
you can ask Trek. I marked the fuck out when he said that. But yeah, it made him look good. I'm liking what they're doing with him. He's no longer just he's no longer the guy who cuts the promo going, I'm not a bad guy. I'm not a good guy. I'm the guy.
Yeah.
Or suffering succotash.
Oh God.
Yeah.
But anyway, if you watched the people behind him, their reaction, because I don't even think they knew he was gonna say that. Their reaction was kind of organic, like, oh shit, man, that motherfucker just snapped like a motherfucker. So it was. I enjoyed that part of it. But Shane says, he's like, that's enough, Roman. Whatever. Even though Roman walked away, Shane says he'll find him and deal with him later. Okay, shut the fuck up. You already got your ass beat a couple of times.
Guys, I'll be right back.
Yep, go ahead.
And Shane just doesn't. I'm sorry, man, but like Shane works as a babyface. He just does not work for me as a heel.
He's an idiot.
His promo work. It just I don't know. He's no Vince McMahon when it comes to fucking cutting a promo. Very few people are, but he's leagues away in some sort of like dad. He's stuck in like dad mode or something. I can't stand
it. Right. Charlotte Flair then steps up to the mic and says, "Liv Morgan." Charlotte stepped up there and she goes, "I would never disrespect the McMahons. The McMahons have been there for me ever since I've taken care of me since I was born, whatever." And Liv Morgan steps up and she says, and it was shocking because I wasn't expecting Liv Morgan to step up there. I don't know if she's going to be a babyface or a heel. But she came out and she said, "And this is the reason why, you are the reason why people like me don't get the push because of people like you." I enjoyed it. It was pretty good. Another really good, short and to the point. Less is more with these promos, I think. So essentially, once this town hall started, it wasn't even about shooting at Vince McMahon or Shane McMahon. It was about setting up matches for the night. So and I looked at Heather and I'm like, yep, they're going to do Charlotte versus Liv Morgan. And Heather's like, "Did you think?" I said, "Yeah."
I said that. I called that as soon as she fucking opened her mouth.
Right, and then Apollo Crews stepped up to the mic and he said, "Shane, honestly, nobody likes you. All this shit." What did you? Before I go on to that, what did you guys think of the Charlotte Flair Liv Morgan thing? I mean, Charlotte Flair's back.
It's always good to see Charlotte Flair back because she is like one of the best women's talents in terms of wrestling. Still, I don't know where she stands promo wise. I know they went on for a bit after just the first interaction those two had. They talked for a little bit longer, and I actually liked Liv Morgan better on the mic than I did Charlotte Flair. And if you just listen to what they were saying, I don't know. It's we'll get to it later on because after the match, certain things happen, but. I can't shit on it, really. I didn't have anything against it. It seems like they're going to try to do something at least with Liv Morgan. Charlotte Flair is going to be the face of the women for a while. She should be, really, but who knows?
I agree. She's 10 times better than Becky, in my opinion. I'm sorry. I just don't. Becky is just so... Basement said it the other day. She is so... She's cringe. How did you say it? It's the character that she is just doesn't work for her because
she just can't pull off this bad girl attitude thing because she her mannerisms and some of the things she says, she's just awkward, and you can't be bad cool girl and awkward as fuck at the same time. You're one of those two things, and it just comes off like I don't know. Half the time I don't know what to think about her.
Right.
Just get the fuck off my television.
Right. I'm with you. Bobbit, Trek?
You know, I had asked Bobbit what, during the match with Liv Morgan, or after the match with Liv Morgan, said because she was talking so fast.
Can we wait and get to that until after the match? Thank you.
Yeah.
What did you think about the interaction between Charlotte and Liv?
I liked it. I'm glad she did get to speak a little more because we haven't seen Liv Morgan in 3 months?
4 months.
Maybe what?
Almost 4 months, actually.
4 months? Yeah. Yep. We were just wondering the other day where the hell she was. It's like she finally shows up. I'm like, I even pointed her out during the promo during the opening of SmackDown. Like, look, there's Liv. That's probably all we're gonna see of her. And then she actually talked. Like, damn, she's actually getting a little bit of a push tonight.
Yeah. Bobbit?
I'm sorry, I was in the bathroom. What was the question?
What did you think about the Charlotte Flair? Thank you for pointing that out. What did you think about the Charlotte Flair Liv Morgan promo?
It was all right. And the Liv Morgan thing, what she said, is there anything real on you? That got me a little bit. That was pretty good, but it was all right.
Who else? Apollo Crews and Andrade Cien Almas. It looked like Charlotte Flair just seemed a little awkward out there at that point. I don't know if you noticed it. I think there was a point where I said something like, I don't know how Charlotte Flair feels about talking about Andrade like that. I mean, I thought it was fucking hilarious, personally. And then, yeah,
You could see like the kind of like the rust on her even during her promo. Like it sounds like while she was speaking against Liv Morgan, she kind of got a little bit lost.
right.
If you watch it, you'll notice it. But she handles it pretty well. But she does kind of like go over the same thing a couple times,
Right.
and none of it was really impactful. She didn't really come back with anything worth listening to.
I don't
after
think-
Liv Morgan said she's fake everywhere.
I don't think that she was supposed to. I think that was more about for Liv.
Mhm.
Because, well, we'll talk about it during the match.
I'm like speaking more along the lines of how she delivered her lines.
Right.
or
No,
whatever
I
she was
gotcha.
gonna say. It sounded a bit awkward, like you said.
Yeah.
What about Apollo Crews? Because I've never we haven't seen this guy in 10,000 years. I didn't think he was terrible. He's still bland on the mic, but at least he didn't seem like
well, he
as
came.
bad as he was. I
Yeah,
don't know.
well, he came out and he essentially said exactly the same thing as Roman Reigns. He's like, I don't like you. I don't care if you think that I don't like you. I just don't like you, or however he said it. But essentially, he said, I don't fucking like you. You fuck off.
He just sounded more confident than he had before. That's all.
Right.
Like it's just the tone and everything and the way he was.
And this
speaking,
is
it
the
looked like he
thing.
was better.
Maybe they're letting, and this is one of those changes that we're starting
With
to
Eric,
see.
yeah.
Well, not even with Eric Bischoff. I'm talking about WWE in general. Them just letting these superstars go and talking. You know what I mean? Because I know that a lot of them have. Triple H has come out and said that some of them want to be scripted. And that's fine. Just don't have them talk on the mic ever. And those people that want to be scripted should not be pushed. Period.
Well,
Because I can understand at the start of your career, like down in NXT, wanting the script to sit there and get you the perfect cadence and get you there so that you can do it on your own and get you that confidence.
Yeah. No, I get it.
But anything past that, you should be able to do it on your own.
So
That's
Zelina
pushing-
Vega, yep. So Zelina Vega gets on the mic and she starts talking about how this is whatever she said. I don't even fucking know what she said.
Is she like trying to sound fucking Spanish or something?
Okay,
Yes.
Because it sounds horrible.
She is.
She can speak Spanish.
But she's
But
like trying to
she
speak with a
emphasizes
Spanish
the
accent,
R's
which
too
is
much.
not Trinidadian at all.
True. But so Apollo, or I almost called her Thea Trinidad, because that's her real name.
I don't know.
But she ended up saying, Apollo, my client will beat your ass. She's like the female Paul Heyman because she calls him her client because they aren't a couple.
And everybody knows it.
And everybody knows it. And then Charlotte apparently is not helping Andrade with his fucking English because he jumped on the microphone and just
Did an
went
entire
on
promo in
a
Spanish.
fucking rant in fucking Spanish. I could not understand a fucking word he said. Zelina Vega standing there like, yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck did he say? I don't know what the fuck this motherfucker said.
Bring up subtitles, please.
There was something. It's like, god damn. I mean, New Japan does it. If you put it on the English commentary, it automatically they start speaking in Japanese, like Okada's speaking in Japanese. They'll put the subtitle out there in Japanese or in English what he's saying.
Or one of the commentators will translate for you.
Yes, actually, they have one of it's Rocky Romero. He translates for him because he knows how to speak Japanese, which is fine. But
Because then you get to actually still pay attention without having to read.
because I literally sat there and I started laughing didn't I? I'm like, what the fuck did this guy just fucking say? It must have been good because Zelina Vega was losing her fucking shit. Charlotte Flair was like, oh snap, doing that whole fucking thing. But
well, hopefully Apollo speaks fucking Spanish, or else he's like, I don't know what the fuck this guy's angry at me
well,
for.
he just stood there. He just stood there like,
What?
I don't understand what you just fucking said to me, but okay, we'll have a match. So there's another match that they have later on in the evening, which we'll talk about. This fucking show, the fucking matches, man. So Cesaro then comes out and says, I have one more thing. I have a grievance. Whatever. He goes, I want Aleister Black, and I want him tonight. I want him to fight me or whatever.
I want him to pick
a fight with me. So he's like, so Shane's like, you want it, you got it. I think right about that point, Kevin Owens comes out and stuns Shane McMahon. The funny thing about this was this the botch stunner.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, because they were outside the ring.
He missed. No, that was
at the end of the night.
That was this one. That was a good stunner. I think it was a good stunner. No, he still fucking botched it because he fell to his fucking knees and then he picked him up and then fucking stunned him.
Yeah, Shane fell over.
Fucking idiot. Shane stumbled because he got excited. Oh jeez, I get to get stunned again. Fucking moron. So we start the night, and then it goes to a commercial. And this is the first commercial. It's 15 minutes. We've been talking about this for almost a half hour.
Before we move on, can I
Yes.
say just one thing? Like,
Yes.
so when Cesaro comes out, he's like, I know I'm not on SmackDown. It's like, neither is Roman Reigns. Neither is half of who the fuck knows who's on what. Like, just,
Right. I think that was a. I think that was
the pot shot.
That the wild card rule. I know I'm not on, but I want this guy. Well, okay, you got it.
they
And
should
actually,
do
Roman
away
Reigns
with the
is part
brand
of the
split
SmackDown.
now.
I agree, but they aren't gonna do it. I wish they would, but they aren't gonna do it.
Either do it right or don't do it at all. And they've done it wrong so many times now that I never want to see it.
Yep.
Well, there are rumors that Paul and Eric want to hold an actual draft.
Yes.
So we'll see what happens.
That's up to Vince. That's a good idea. So they go to commercial and then they come back and Aleister Black and Cesaro are having a match. Why in the fuck did Cesaro walk all the way to the back just to come back out to his music again? Do they really need the entrance music? I mean, I've seen where they don't have. In this show, you've seen that a couple of certain superstars didn't get entrance music, and it was a title match. I mean, you did, but you didn't.
The champions themselves barely got an entrance.
Exactly. And we'll get into that. They went to a commercial. Now, SmackDown does it differently. They can go to commercials because they have that picture-in-picture thing. Why doesn't Raw do the same thing? Is that how they're separating the two shows?
That's how they started separating the two shows when the whole fucking thing started.
Well, it would stop WWE from fucking doing the 2 out of 3 fall matches.
I know, but
Why are they thinking over? Why are they overthinking? What way can we get rid of these commercials? How about you do the picture-in-picture? I mean, I'm sick of the picture-in-picture thing. It really doesn't do anything.
Especially since it's a box about fucking 2 inches big.
Whatever. They come back. I don't think the match lasted. It was like a 5-minute match.
Yeah.
After it came back,
Yeah.
Aleister Black wins with a black mass out of nowhere again, and I'm emphasizing out of nowhere because he should. And I think Heather is too. I think he should have a feud with Randy Orton. The two finishers out of nowhere.
Yeah.
My question is more like, why is this match taking? I know, like, there's a reason they're fighting, but they just fought. If this just ends here, which I think it will,
Yes.
because what the fuck, he's already lost twice in a row.
Yep.
Why is this match happening? It doesn't make Aleister Black look stronger. It makes Cesaro look worse.
Mm-hmm.
It just doesn't need to happen. It's like you had the one-off match at the pay-per-view. Just leave it at that.
Yep.
Unless Cesaro was going to win this and the feud was going to go somewhere, I would have accepted it. But the way that it ended, I was like, I don't know, man. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because if Cesaro had won last night, it would set up the perfect example for a rubber match at SummerSlam on the pre-show.
Mm-hmm. No, I get you. I totally agree. Again, this match was not as good as Extreme Rules. The Extreme Rules match was pretty good, I thought. I enjoyed it. I
even thought the Extreme Rules match, they could have given them like a little bit more time, even though they had a decent amount. This match was just pointless to me. This that one on SmackDown.
Yep.
Yes, I agree. I can't disagree with you. Would you guys Trek, Bobbit? I mean, we just seen a match 2 days ago between these guys. I don't know how much better it can get.
Yeah, I was even thinking, I didn't say this to Bob when we were watching, but I was thinking, like, why is this match happening? They're not going to derail out Black's push. I'm like, so unless Cesaro somehow wins by count out or something like that, we can do that. We all knew that Black was going to win.
Right. So you talk more to Bobbit than you do on my shows? That's kind of fucked up. I'm just kidding, man. Just fucking with you.
What the frig?
It's fine. I don't care. You're good. You're good. Huh? Okay. So that ended that. I think they went to a commercial, and then Heather wrote down Daniel Bryan's big announcement is, and then nothing.
It's because it was just as he did that backstage interview with Kayla Braxton.
Oh, well, I was trying to figure out what he said, but he said it's I gotta go bigger, I gotta go home, or something like that.
I gotta go. Daniel Bryan has to go where Daniel Bryan's never gone.
Okay, so what he's gonna go to the Final Frontier? Where the fuck is he going?
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
I know, right?
I have no idea what they're doing with that guy. Like, he's been all over the fucking place since he returned.
Yep. No, I agree. I don't care. I said it a long time ago. I don't care about Daniel Bryan. I still don't care.
I felt like if they're gonna turn him heel, he honestly just needs like a whole revamp of his look and everything, because it's just this troll thing.
Yeah.
It worked when he was like face and pro environment shit, but heel pro environment is like, what the fuck? I'm kind of confused.
Right. I don't know. But we didn't get his announcement, so we did. In the next thing, we got Charlotte Flair versus Liv Morgan. Now, I enjoyed this match for the simple fact that they let Liv Morgan get some offense in, and she didn't look bad.
She isn't that bad, actually. She was one of the ones they brought up that I was surprised about when she actually came in. Like, she didn't look awkward, I guess, in the ring. She moves better than some of the other people that they brought up.
Right. Nope, I agree. She looked good. She did end up getting beat here with a figure 8 leg lock. I'm gonna let Trek, because I know he started talking about it. I'm like, hold on a minute, man. Goddamn. Can we finish one segment before we move on to another? She got on the microphone and she said, Charlotte Flair was right, but when I come back, you're gonna see a different me. She said something to that effect. I love that. I think they're going to do something with Liv. She's what, 23, 24 years old? She's really young. They have some really young women on this roster that they could do something with if they build them. Alexa Bliss, she's 25. The problem that I have with Alexa Bliss, and I'll continue to say it until the end of time, the woman can do it. She chooses not to. And I put it out on Twitter, if WWE, and I think I said it the other night, if WWE is afraid that she is going to get hurt, then she needs to not fucking wrestle. Because if she can't go all out like every other fucking woman that busts their ass on this roster, she should not be in the fucking ring. And I'm talking about Alexa Bliss. Liv Morgan has come along. Liv Morgan is now ahead of Alexa Bliss as far as wrestling ability, in my opinion.
Well, that's the way I looked at it too, is because Alexa Bliss, when they all came up to the main roster, and sometimes this happens. I look at wrestlers and I say, you're good now, but are we seeing your peak? And I feel like we've seen Alexa Bliss's peak, which sucks, because I don't think I've seen. If anything, she's regressed a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Her promo work is always as good as what it was before, but the thing is, like, there's no progression for her. She came in as like a B+ player, and that might just be where she stays forever.
Right. They put the title on her way too soon, in my opinion. Way too soon. I didn't like it when they did it the first time. I didn't like it they did it the second time. I sure didn't fucking like it the way they did it the third time or the fourth time. So, and I think she's a 4-time champion, 5-time champion, whatever.
But you look at like Becky Lynch, Charlotte, all these other guys that have got these women that have come up, have steadily improved in one way or the other. Now, I use Becky Lynch because when she came up, she was kind of fodder for a long time. And she slowly got not that much better in ring, but got her character going in a different way. And for a while there, she was really hot. Alexa Bliss kind of came out guns blazing and then just fucking stayed that way. But it kind of got tiresome after a while. There's no change in her anymore. And it's just like, I've seen it. I've seen it for a couple years now. Time to switch it up.
Yeah.
Your character is not interesting enough to have a 10-year run with that type of personality.
Exactly. Do you understand what we were talking about, Bob? Because I know you're a big proponent of Alexa.
Yeah, I understand. I got you.
It's not that I don't hate Alexa. I know she can do it. If she came out and actually wrestled, I'd probably care about her a little bit more than what I do. There's nothing about her right now that says, and like I said, if WWE is afraid that she's going to get fucking hurt, then why even have her fucking wrestle?
Or switch up her style. Look what Stone Cold did when he got injured and he was forced to switch his style.
Yep.
Switch his style, make it work. Become a technical wrestler. Try something else. Like, you're not pigeonholed with these 5 moves that you have.
Yep.
Like, develop.
Yep. Gina, are you back yet or no? But again, I liked the end of the match. Charlotte Flair said she was back. Now, I have seen people saying, and we're going to get into it. I'll wait until we get into so keep Charlotte Flair in your mind, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I think they're going to repackage Liv Morgan. Heather and I were talking about it. I think they're going to repackage her. I don't know if she'll come back as a heel or a face. I think they should bring her back as a face.
Same.
And just let her... Because she has already played a heel. Let her play that character that she could play. You could have her as that sympathetic character. Where, you know what I mean? You get where I'm going with this? Yeah. The sympathetic character that she's only 5 foot. Now, this is a character they should have done with Alexa Bliss. They should have had her come out as a baby face and then turned her heel. They came out with her as a heel.
Such a better heel than, like, her babyface work is just terrible.
I understand that, but then turn her heel.
Bigger impact, yeah. Her heel run would have had more steam to it. And with Liv Morgan, I mean, she's definitely being repackaged, I think, and I also think it's like it was time to get rid of that Harley Quinn thing she had going on. It's been years since that was relevant, so just move past it. And she's also showed promise in ring and on the mic. Now, Trek was talking about what she said afterwards. I don't know if you want to continue that, Trek.
Go ahead, and it's essentially what I said, but go ahead, Trek.
She said that, like, Charlotte Flair is right. When I come back, I'm going to be more real. And I had to rewind it, like, later on because she talks so fast. I mean, like you guys tell me to slow down, which is hard because I'm so used to talking at work so fast.
Yeah.
But it's like, holy folks, make her slow down. And also, when she comes back, please make her stop with the blue tongue thing. I'm so tired of it.
Well, I don't think the blue tongue thing don't bother me because she likes blue raspberry Jolly Ranchers. That's what that is.
Yeah.
That's what she does before a match. That is her get ready for a match thing. I don't mind that. If you're gonna worry about what her tongue looks like,
No,
you got fucking issues.
no, it's just that she kept doing it during the match last night.
Okay. That's her. I don't understand why that upsets you.
It just felt like it was distracting. It's like, what are you doing? She would try egg on Troa, like, get that, but it's like.
Did it take away from her wrestling ability though?
No.
Okay. Then I don't
But
mind
the good thing is, like, I think if they're gonna do a character switch for her, I don't think that's gonna stick around anyway. But when she delivered that line, you're right, she did speak fast, but there was something like I actually liked about that. I don't know, it just seemed like her character kind of switched in that moment anyway, when she's like, Charlotte was right, and was kind of like half sobbing.
Yes,
I
she
don't know
was
how to really
emotional.
describe it, but it was the way she delivered it. It was quick and it seemed kind of weird, but at the same time, it seemed a lot more real.
It seemed
I don't know.
emotional. It seemed emotional. Because when she said it, she goes, I'm going to come back. I'm going to be real. Like, she was sobbing when she was talking.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I like that because it bring her back, repackage her, have her change. Charlotte's going to end up winning the title. Okay, we'll get into that here in a minute. Then we get the Mandy and Sonya versus Ember Moon and a partner of a mystery partner, and of course it is, we all know, Bayley. Bayley comes out. Her and it's just back and forth. I mean, I was watching the matches, but I was chasing the 7-month around, and Heather was cooking, so it was kind of hard for me to keep an eye on what was going on. So Mandy and Sonya versus Ember and Bayley, and Ember Moon hits the Eclipse on Mandy Rose for the win. And at the end of the match, and this is the key point here, at the end of the match, Bayley, and I like what Corey Graves did, and I'll explain why. Bayley at the end of the match said, they asked her who she wants as an opponent, or who she thinks should be her opponent at SummerSlam, and she goes, let me see, now that I've gotten rid of Alexa Bliss, thank God, because she's actually on Raw, I want to do what I've always wanted to do, and that is elevate the women's division. So she said, who should I face? And of course, she looked right at Ember Moon. Duh, because she's just a tag team partner. So we are getting Ember Moon versus Bayley at SummerSlam. I like the move. I hate to say this, but I guarantee you they're going to put Charlotte in this match. I hope I'm wrong, but I see them putting her in this match.
I actually don't think they will. I think it'll be a one-on-one. I will say though, this part, like Bayley, she said, like, when she's doing this promo, she stopped so many fucking times.
Yes.
It killed me, man. She's like, I want to fight someone I haven't fought before. Pause. It was just like, man, she would be fired from a porn set for her acting. Like, that it's a little bit better than it was, but holy fucking hell, man.
I agree. She's terrible on the microphone. She has improved, but she's still really bad. So what do you think, Trek? Do you think they're gonna put Charlotte in there, or do you think it'll be a triple threat, or do you think it'll just be a one-on-one? I want it to be a one-on-one, but I won't be surprised if they put Charlotte in there. Ultimately, is what I'm saying.
I think they're gonna keep it a one-on-one because we haven't seen Ember go one-on-one for a while. I mean, like, she's been put into these situations where it's Mandy and her, Sonya and her, both of them on her in the back, just attacking her verbally, knocking stuff out of her hands, just being bullies. I think they're trying to get them one-on-one, and I could see actually Ember winning the title.
I don't see that.
I don't see it. I don't see her winning the title either. But here's the thing: it is SummerSlam. They're gonna try and get everybody on the card.
Yeah.
That's the thing that scares me. Or do you think that they're going to throw Charlotte in with Natty and Becky?
That's what I could see happening too. I could see that happening more than Charlotte being tossed in with Ember and Bailey.
I agree. I think Becky Lynch and Natalya is a better option for her to be thrown in with. I'm personally, I have no interest in seeing Natalya versus Becky Lynch.
Okay.
I know why it's fucking Toronto, so they're gonna have Natalya in some sort of aspect show up. But I feel like that match could use the addition. It could actually use the addition, and it wouldn't be a detriment. Well, if they're trying to say they want to push the women's roster, then they're going to have to do so by having those two actually go at it. When I say those two, I mean Bailey and Ember Moon, and give us an actual decent women's match, hopefully.
Right. So, I mean, Corey Graves, and this is, Corey Graves said in this, at the end of this, the only reason that Bailey is doing this is that she knows she can beat Ember Moon, or whatever. But he was, like, playing the fact that she was being a bully. Okay. That's where Corey Graves said, I thought it was a good play on, because they're playing this whole Bailey is only challenging people that she knows she can beat or whatever. Well, there's no guy. I honestly don't think that Bailey can beat Ember Moon in a match in any other promotion. WWE to be a different story, but I think Ember Moon is the better of the two, in my opinion.
Definitely in ring and probably on the mic. I mean, the problem with Bailey is, like, she's good in ring, but she's just so, like, she has the potential to be a strong babyface, but
right.
It can't be built off of what she does on the mic. It has to be built off of what she does in the ring. And like everybody probably would agree, she's better chasing a title than owning one.
Agreed. Bobbit? You there?
Yep, agreed 100%.
Okay. Gina, are you back yet? Oh, sorry. Gina probably had to step away and take care of one of her children or something. I don't know. It's all good.
Take care of business every day.
Shut the fuck up, Bobby. So then the next segment, the New Day comes out, and this is where the Danny Bryan thing comes in. The New Day challenges, they said, we'll give you a rematch. I don't know if... I never heard Daniel Bryan say that we're going to give you we want a rematch or whatever. And they accepted their rematch. That's what he said. Daniel Bryan walks out, doesn't say anything, with Eric Rowan, doesn't say anything, goes to the back. And then the New Day, with their fucking nitpicking, Daniel Bryan comes walking back out. He did this like 4 fucking times.
Yeah, like, overkill, man.
Why? Why do you need to do that? Just, if you're not going to say anything, don't say anything. Then Samoa Joe comes out. And I can't remember where this went. Oh, yeah. Samoa Joe comes out. Starts talking. He challenges, talking about fucking Kofi Kingston. Elias then comes out. I don't know what the fuck he said because I could give a shit what fucking Elias says. And then Randy Orton comes out. Well, Elias wants Kofi Kingston. That's right. And then Randy Orton comes out and says, I want Kofi Kingston. So then the New Day, Elias said, I don't know about you guys. I think the only way to settle this is if we beat the crap out of the 3 of them in the ring. So we get New Day versus RKO versus RKO, Elias, and Samoa Joe.
Before that.
Yes.
Orton said, well, a 6-man tag? Nah, I'm good. And he starts to walk back. That's when Kofi did a small penis joke. And that's what got him in the ring.
Who?
Kofi basically said he has got a limp dick. And Randy Orton was about to leave the arena, but then turned around and joined in on this 6-man bullshit.
Okay, that's right. Okay, I didn't catch that. Sorry. Throughout the match, I'm gonna say this: Corey, I don't know if you guys heard it, but Corey Graves referenced the raid on Area 51. If you didn't catch that, he said something like, "These three guys are better. I'd rather go into battle with these three guys than the people that are gonna attack Area 51 or whatever." I don't know, whatever it was fucking. I thought it was funny. I just pop culture. We know WWE. They got to throw their 2 cents in the fucking pop culture bullshit. Did you guys catch that at all or no?
I did. They gotta stay topical, like always. Fucking
Yeah.
Guzzlers.
I mean, whatever. I thought it was funny the way he said it, though.
It was. Corey Graves is the kind of guy that can get away with that stuff because he's clever, and when he speaks, he does have those one-liners, and it works for him.
Yep.
If Michael Cole was to say it, I'd be like, someone take a gun and kill him.
I mean, you're right. I can't disagree with you. So the match goes on and on. I really didn't pay attention to the match that much until it got close to the end of it. Randy Orton RKO's Kofi Kingston. RKO pins Kofi. Are we getting Randy Orton versus Kofi Kingston at SummerSlam? Or what are we doing with Kofi Kingston at SummerSlam?
Randy Orton.
You think it's going to be Randy Orton? People are like, what?
You don't pin the champ and nothing becomes of it.
So who do you think? Do you think that Kofi Kingston's losing the title, or do you think he's going to retain?
I think he's going to retain.
Oh my God! I said this today, and in no way, shape, or form should Kofi Kingston ever beat Randy Orton. I don't think he should.
I mean, yes, I can see it happening, but depending on the circumstance, if this was the story where when Kofi originally won the belt,
yeah,
that could have worked with him beating Randy Orton. But in any other aspect, no, he shouldn't be beating him. I also don't necessarily want to see. I don't want to see either of these guys have the title, in my honest opinion.
Right.
Like, I'm not against Randy Orton or anything. It's just like, in order for him to have another title run, he needs something extra to his character.
Correct. Well, it would tie him with. You'd put him one behind John Cena for title reigns, because you think he's a 14? Is he a 14 or a 15 time?
No, 13.
Okay, so if he wins, he would be a 15-time world champion.
No, he's a 13-time champion.
Well, either way, I mean, it puts him closer to John Cena.
Charlotte's gonna beat them all. She's held the title 5,000 times already.
Right?
No. Somebody's gonna beat them all. It's gonna be fucking R-Truth in the 24/7 belt.
No shit, right? So that match ends. This next match, Kabuki Warriors versus the Iconics. They didn't even get an entrance for the Kabuki Warriors. They barely got an entrance for the Iconics. This is a tag team title match. And it lasted, 2 minutes? 3 minutes?
Yeah.
And it ended up in a count out because the Iconics, who are Alexa Bliss, They are. Both of them
but
are.
They're so unbelievably, like, they have the worst version, or I guess the best version of get off my screen heat. Like, they go away heat completely. I don't like them in ring. Don't like them at a ring. Don't like when their mouth is open. Just get the fuck out of here.
Billie Kay and her primal scream drives me fucking nuts. You know what Billie Kay reminds me of? She reminds me of Wicked Witch of the fucking West. Without the fucking makeup on.
The green makeup, yeah.
I mean, you put a fucking... you know what would be funny is at the Halloween special, she comes out dressed up as a fucking Wicked Witch of the West, and you'd all see what the fuck I'm talking about. Because my fucking God, that woman is she's ugly. She is fugly to me. There is nothing attractive about her. I do not see what people think seeing her. It looks like she has a unibrow too. But
yeah, I'm not like fucking. No, she's not an attractive woman, not to me. But that, regardless, she's fucking not great in the ring, not good on the mic. She's just.
There's nothing.
I'd be okay if I never saw her again.
Nah, she's Peyton Royce. she has something. We seen it down in. I seen it down in NXT. You watched her; she was way better down in NXT. Now she's taking a step back because Billy Kay. Billy Kay is ruining Peyton Royce. I'm sorry, I know they're best friends, but my God, just terrible. And everybody's like, "Oh, just watch and enjoy him." I can't. This is one
They're
team.
not enjoyable.
They are not entertaining at fucking all. And doing their stupid iconic thing, they look like two fucking assholes that had a fucking corn cob shoved up their ass. I mean, come on. You have some creativity. These people came from somewhere. They have to have some semblance of entertainment mind in order to be in this fucking business. You can't be creative enough to say, yeah, I think, and I know it's WWE, they don't let them. Try. That Stone Cold, I mean, goddamn. He helped come up with this fucking name. Come up with this fucking character. Don't sit there and tell me that, Vince McMahon ain't gonna let me do this. Bullshit. I call bullshit on all of that crap. I'm sorry. Just went up on the tirade again. Another half-hour tirade, JP.
Well, the funny is, fucking Moxley goes on that tirade saying he wasn't allowed to do this, that, and this, but yet there was another interview with him where he says Vince was his best friend.
Moxley, just fuck off for all I care.
Ambrose can suck a fucking elephant's cock.
I mean, he's a jackass. And not because he left WWE. I don't care where the fucking guy goes. Just
he does nothing for me in ring.
No.
And his whole crazy shtick just seems like stupid. You just come off as like a bumbling idiot after that.
He does. He looks like a bumbling idiot. So then we get Andrade versus Apollo. And Andrade gets pinned in like 35 seconds. Another fucking roll up. Was it a roll up?
I think so.
Because I didn't even see it. I didn't even see what happened. So
this was like back to back. Like the last match was fucking trash and ended 2 seconds.
Yep.
This match is fucking trash and ends in 2 seconds. Like who booked that part of the show completely dropped the ball.
Yep.
Okay, well, I understand Eric Bischoff had nothing to do with SmackDown Tuesday.
I understand that. Everybody's like, Eric Bischoff is taking over. No, Eric Bischoff and Paul Heyman each get to run one show. Is from my understanding, they get to run one show leading up to SummerSlam. After that, then they take over. I think that was the deal. That is the rumor going around. Now, whether or not Paul Heyman ran the show Monday, I don't know. I don't know if that had hints of Paul Heyman or not, because I pay attention to that stuff. If Paul Heyman's if it was me, I would probably say you're probably going to see more hardcore shit if Paul Heyman was running it. But that's just me. But anyway, why is Andrade losing this match? I mean, I'm not a big fan of Andrade's anyway. But tonight, and if you haven't seen it, Apollo Crews was on NXT. So Andrade loses to a fucking NXT guy. You send Apollo Crews down and have a match on Wednesday, and you have him beat Andrade on Tuesday night on SmackDown on the main roster. I'm sorry, you can sit there and say, well, it's not. NXT is not the main roster. Is the A show. I don't give a fuck if it's the A show, the B show, the C show. NXT is developmental promotion for WWE. You can try to fucking shade it any way you want, but it's the developmental of WWE. Because they always reference, we're calling this guy up. That doesn't sound like fucking main roster to me at all. That made no sense to me. You guys?
Well, I mean, if Andrade doesn't have the booking behind him, he doesn't have anything going for him because he can't speak a lick of English. Zelina Vega on the mic is never going to really sell him if he's not winning matches.
Yep.
If he can't beat Apollo Crews, who's been absent for the better part of his life.
Right?
Oh, man.
What was that?
Nobody said anything.
Oh, sorry.
I hear voices.
I hear voices in my head. Trek, what about you?
First off, on the Iconics thing about the Primal Scream, all I could say is, yeah, so did Melina, and she was worthless too.
Yeah, I agree.
And then the only good thing about them, and I understood why they extended the feud, they want to get to SummerSlam. At SummerSlam, we'll see the Kabuki Warriors, I think their name is, the Kabuki Warriors, I think their name is, get their titles, and that will happen at SummerSlam. I get that, but there were better ways to extend the feud. The only good thing about that match was after that, Asuka and Kairi beat the shit out of them.
Yeah. I mean, I think they could have changed the titles and then had them, the Iconics somehow weasel their way back into the title picture and then have them lose. Ultimately, the Kabuki Warriors, everybody's like, oh, they're not going to get... Bob, it's one of them. Oh, they're not going to get their rematch. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. It's not even a rematch. It's not even a rematch. It's I wouldn't even call it really call it a rematch. I would call it a legit title shot. I said it last night. I said they should have, the only way that this will work, because I know the Iconics are going to do the same fucking thing. They're going to play up on the fact that they're just going to stand outside the ring and get counted out. Make that match. Have somebody like Triple H come out and say, yeah, we're not doing this. If the Iconics get counted out, they lose the titles. They need to do something like that.
Yeah.
But they need to
I
do
can
it
see
for both.
happening
Go ahead.
is like the next SmackDown, they'll probably have a rematch again, and they'll win maybe through countout or maybe some other stupid way that they're just going to steal the victory, or they're going to lose but keep the belts and then avoid the actual match. And then come SummerSlam, they will have a stipulation in place where it might not be so specific as to say there's no countouts or anything like that, but it might just be one of the tag matches that are Extreme Rules or something where anything goes, but you can't. You still have to tag each other in, which never made sense to me. But like, it'll be something like that, and then that's where they'll win the title because they'll build to it slowly in this week and the next week.
I hope so. I hope so. I mean, they need to get the fucking titles off those two goons. Welcome back, Gina.
Thank you. Sorry.
No, you're good. We're almost done.
Okay.
Well, I'll ask your thoughts on some things, though.
Okay.
I'll come back to you. We're past that. So then the final match, the main event. Throughout the show, Dolph Ziggler's like, I can get Kevin Owens to show up and have a match. So, and he said he'll make sure it's a main event. So they made sure it was a main event. Dolph Ziggler, it's like, I'll get him to show up, whatever. And that was the remnants of the show. Now, keep in mind that Kevin Owens was the first one eliminated the night before during the Battle Royal, which made no sense to me. Made no sense. So Kevin Owens does come out, and this is what I put. Shane brings out his goons. He brings out all the fucking heels. Typical fucking move. I thought for sure they were going to fuck over Kevin Owens. The match starts. Ziggler hits a zigzag, gets a 2 count. Owens hits the stunner on Ziggler. Shane pulls Kevin Owens out of the ring, and Kevin Owens stuns Shane again in the middle of the ring. Now, did Kevin Owens get the 3 count, or was that the end of the match?
No, I think he ran out after that because all the heels were chasing him.
That's right. So there was no count out or anything after that.
Right, it was no contest.
It couldn't be a no contest because fucking Dolph Ziggler was in the middle of the fucking ring.
It was disqualification because Shane pulled.
Did they call a disqualification?
I'm pretty sure, because as soon as Shane did that, I heard the bell ring.
Okay, I didn't hear the ring. I was watching what Kevin Owens was gonna do, and it was funny because that's the second time that fucking Shane McMahon was stunned in the night. I thought it was
botched one too, because that hit him square in the throat.
Oh yeah, dude. At least it'll shut him the fuck up for a minute. But anyway, he's and as Shane was walking up the ramp, he's like, "I'm gonna make you pay. I'm gonna make you pay. I'm gonna make you pay." Whatever. Shut the fuck up, Shane.
I'll have your coronary over in the corner.
What'd you think of the ending? The kind of book ending SmackDown pretty good, but the middle part of the show is still having its issues.
It's still lackluster, yeah.
I mean, I didn't mind how they started it and how they ended it, to be honest with you. You guys?
I mean, there's certain things I liked about how they started it and how they ended. But the thing, because it's centralized around a storyline that is so played out, and it's been played out better by so many other people, because Shane doesn't really play the overbearing manager very well, and Kevin Owens, he could do anything really. Face heel doesn't really matter. It's just it looks like a knockoff version of the Stone Cold storyline, and I can't get behind it because of that. And when they get all these heels to come out, that never makes sense to me anyway.
Yeah.
It's like, because we're bad guys, we all do the same. Like, what the fuck? Like, we'll strip away what makes you an individual. You're a bad guy, you're coming. Right. It makes no sense. That makes no sense. I didn't mind it. Like, I liked how he stunned him and ran, and they kind of chased after him, but it was a little goofy. I don't know. I could take it or leave it. I guess it does. It did wrap the show together properly, I guess, from beginning to end. But I have my gripes with it.
I understand. Gina?
I mean, I agree with Basement. The biggest thing that I have a problem with is the fact that, like, Kevin Owens came back, and he was face for a little while, and then he turned heel, and now he's back to face for, like, no particular reason other than Shane McMahon. So it's like the whole storyline revolves around one central character, and it's not that the storyline doesn't make sense to me, because it does. Like Basement said, it's been played out before. But the thing that I have a problem with is if they were, and don't get me wrong, I know that there's different writers and shit like that. Like they mix stuff up in between this time. I know, but for me, it didn't make sense turning Kevin face without giving him an actual purpose to get involved, because like there was no real purpose for him to get involved to begin with Shane. It was just kind of like one day he just came out and he's like, you know what, Shane, I'm sick of you, which was great.
He could have just
slapping.
I didn't. Well, they kind of did though, Gina, because he's like, oh my god, so we got to fucking deal with this shit. We got to deal with fucking Dolph Ziggler, fucking bitching, pissing, and moaning. How about me? How about all the other people? I mean,
I understand that, and I agree with that. It's just the flip-flopping that they did with Kevin Owens before that kind of leaves his character a little lackluster. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Kevin Owens. I love him. I think that he can do any kind of heel, face, in between, whatever. He can do from top to bottom anything. But that flip-flopping that they did with his character it beforehand, it kind of floundered it a little bit for me going in, if that makes sense.
Right. No, I get it. I just was just pointing out that, they did kind of do the... I will say this, though. I do agree that how many times are they going to fucking turn this guy heel? How many times are they going to turn this guy face? Are they turning him into fucking Big Show version 2.0 or 3.0 or whatever?
I mean, if you remember, like, they turned him face for, 2 days with New Day, and then they had him flip heel?
Well, that was just because they didn't have anybody to face him for the title, so they kind of had to do that, I think.
I mean, I understand that, but then, but that's just my point. That's not the first time that they've done that with Kevin Owens. Like, short run as heel, and then he flips face, and then a short run as face, and then he flips heel. It's just this back and forth. type mentality, and I think that overall it's not really damaging his character, but it's like it's not I'm not as invested in it as I would be.
No,
with
I get what
somebody
you're
else.
saying. I'm not as invested. I just like some of the things that he's doing, though.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's
Same here.
because it's Kevin Owens. I agree with you. I think he's one of the better guys. He can do it all. Um, I know we did. You asked that top 5. He's right fucking there for
Oh God.
me
Yeah, I agree.
as one. And you know me, I do not have a favorite wrestler. The way you asked that question, I was looking more at top 5 wrestlers right now, not my favorites, because I don't have a favorite. I never really have.
Which is basically how I meant the question to begin with, like who you thought was the top 5 wrestlers in the world at this time.
Yep, and that's my top 5. Kevin Owens is right in there because he can do all of that stuff. Now his in-ring isn't that great, but I mean I shouldn't say it's not that great. It's great, but it's not excellent like Kenny Omega or Kazuchika Okada or Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins is excellent inside the ring. Excellent to me. He's excellent, but the storyline that they have him in, they can straight fuck off with that shit.
The one thing I'll say about Kevin Owens in ring, it's like when you compare him to these other guys, he doesn't have a strong striking game.
No.
Like you have the knees from Seth Rollins, you have the knees from Kenny Omega, you have certain strong style moves that these guys use, and Kevin Owens doesn't have or doesn't wrestle anywhere like that. He's more of a grappler, I think. And he's versatile for his size. Like, he can move around pretty well. It's just he doesn't have, like... His impact moves are usually, like, slams or throws or something along those lines, like power bombs, things like that. Not so much, look at the clothesline he just executed or anything like that. So I can see... I still say he's a great in-ring wrestler, in my honest opinion.
Yeah, no, he is.
This kind of sums up exactly what I was trying to say in a nutshell, but I just couldn't get it out. BleacherReport.com, on their results and review of the show, basically they said the sooner Owens hits the stunner that sends McMahon backstage for good, the better. He's on a roll as a babyface right now, but there's only so much he can bring to an overplayed rivalry that began with 2 other men. It did not begin with him. It began with 2 other men, which is what I meant by, like, why is he inserted? Like, I don't get me wrong, I understand. He's like, oh my God, not this again. But just the way that they inserted him into this rivalry it was kind of fucked up.
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm not gonna dwell on it. I just wanted to point out that you know. But other than that, Trek, Bobbit, what'd you guys think of the show itself? And then I'll ask Gina, essentially, what kind of hit on the points. I want to ask her opinion of some of the women's stuff. Trek.
So my question is, did Shane lock all the faces backstage? Because you would expect when all the heels came out, all the faces came out, and there would be all the faces would come out. There would be a big brawl. It's like, so all the heels are gonna come out and just cause a ruckus, and none of the good guys gonna show up, and Owens has to run his ass off.
Okay, so I can answer that question. Kevin Owens. It's Kevin Owens.
He's made enemies of everybody, essentially, even though he is a babyface.
That makes sense? Or no?
Well, do you remember the beginning of the show, though, when they were all fucking... I agree with Kevin. Kevin this and Kevin that. So you can't do that and not do the other thing at the end, like Trek's saying. So in the logical world, they shouldn't have been so supportive of Kevin Owens, because him as the person has fucked over everybody.
Well, but Kofi Kingston did say, he goes, I agree with Kevin Owens. I don't like Kevin Owens, but I do agree with him. So it really wasn't, I mean, I wouldn't say he was supporting him, but he was agreeing with his sentiment. Does that make sense?
Basically what it is you can agree with something somebody says, but you don't have to like the person.
It's like the way politics should work. You may not agree with somebody, but that doesn't mean, well, it's kind of the opposite, I should say. But you get my point.
Yeah, I think it would have been great if the commentary team touched on that when that happened.
Yes, and they did not do it. and that was a failure. That was a failure, a big failure on their part. But I hope that kind of, to me, that's why, Trek, because Kevin Owens has burnt many bridges.
No, I get that, but considering how much of an asshole Shane was being earlier that night, and just the fact that all the faces were raining on like Roman and stuff, that they could have at least had Roman run back on, like do something.
But then you're infusing Roman Reigns in that feud again.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want that.
Oh my God, they're showing Roman at the beginning of the show.
We talked about that at the beginning. How we thought. I agree. How we think that Roman has not been shoved down our throats. They've done a soft reboot of him. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So Roman Reigns is not a good choice. Roman Reigns was actually what he said, and they should have left it at that with him, and they did it. They did that really good. Leave it as is. But I do see what you're saying, but I think the answer is that he burnt so many bridges, and the commentary team should have touched on it, and they didn't do it.
Yeah, or they could have shown something like backstage where like that Shane did kind of lock the faces outside the building, or said that he could have had someone like standing guard there saying, you know, you gotta get past me to get to the ring, and then by the time you get to the ring, shit's all broken loose anyway. I mean, they could have done something like that. Like they've done that before. And they could have done it again.
Okay. You'd have to explain that a little better, I think.
Like with the lumberjack match that one year where they locked all of the good guys up with the forklift in front of they locked all the doors, put all the heels, came down to the ringside anyway. Came down to the ringside.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that's stupid, but okay.
Yeah, and you had it right that the only reason they turned Owens in the first place was because Daniel Bryan was hurt again, and reportedly he had another concussion, and they didn't know if he was going to get cleared because Daniel Bryan was reportedly supposed to get his rematch against Kofi instead of Kevin Owens, but they had to go into emergency mode and put Kevin Owens as the heel. So, which I thought, you know, they could have done it with they want, like, Kevin Owens is reportedly pushing for him to be a big babyface now, so he's reportedly going to be a babyface for a while now, so, I mean, I like what they're doing, but it's just, that's the only reason they turned him heel. It just felt rather abrupt for me.
Okay. Bobbitt?
Yo, motherfucking what's up? It's your boy, DJ.
Oh my God.
And this show was like a steak, motherfucker. It was good at the beginning, good at the end, and it was good, motherfucker. And you know, I liked everything. I just didn't like them screwing over Team Japan. But they're getting them match at SummerSlam, motherfucker. But yeah, it's good, motherfucker. Real talk.
Why do I let him on the show?
I love DJ Skinny Penis.
You would. So,
please adopt him and keep him away from us.
But anyway, so I mean, I know. About what point did you leave? Were we still talking about Roman Reigns?
Yes.
Yeah, we were still at the beginning of the show.
Okay, so I do want to get your thoughts on Charlotte Flair and Liv Morgan. It's mostly Liv Morgan.
I actually, believe it or not, I loved this. Don't get me wrong, I know that it was a very short match, and it kind of ended before it could really get going. But what I loved about it is that it told a small story in itself, because it began with Liv being very, very cocky, and kind of arrogant, like the Riot Squad, you know. And it ended with her like saying, "Okay, Charlotte was right. I'm going to come back. I'm going to be better than ever." I think that this was an excellent segue into Liv taking a little bit of time off in order to kind of rebrand herself, which is something that she really needs.
I think they've already rebranded her, but they're going to have her work a little bit more on her in-ring.
No, from what I read, they are completely rebranding her because they don't want her associated with that Riot Squad gimmick anymore.
No, and I get that. I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying, I think they've got something. She's been gone for almost 4 months now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure they might have actually been working on. I don't think she needs to be away for too long because I don't want her not being around for another 4 months and then having her come back. Oh, that makes no sense.
I think the problem with Morgan is she's an excellent competitor in ring. She got called up a little bit too soon, in my opinion. Not saying that she's not good, because she is. She's good in the ring. It's just because she was called up so soon and she was kind of used as enhancement talent for Ruby, so to speak, because they were really pushing Ruby when they first called those three up.
Yes, Ruby's fighting an injury right now. So.
Right, but because she kind of was more established as like a sidekick or enhancement talent, they need to do something in order to rebrand her to give her her own individual gimmick and personality.
Right. No, I get it, and they will it. But I don't mind that they called her up because they've actually.
At that point, she was already done in NXT for 2 years, and they literally had nothing left for her.
Yeah.
Well, and I know the thing is, like I said, it's not like she's lacking in in-ring skills. She is good. She's
getting better. She was doubtful there for a little bit, but she has proved me wrong. She has improved. We've said it. I've said it. I think she's going to get that. She's going to get a push. I think they're going to repackage her. She's going to get that push. And I said it already. I think she's past Alexa Bliss as far as ability. Her promo ability. We'll see where it goes. It was good Tuesday night, but we'll see if she can continue to progress and not regress like Alexa Bliss did.
Right.
What did you think? Okay, so then the Mandy and Sonya versus Ember Moon and Bayley, and how go ahead.
I'm not gonna lie, like the match, I could give a fuck less about. It was what happened after the match between Ember and Bayley.
Mm-hmm.
And I am ecstatic for this because, like, Ember Moon, when she got called up, she was so underutilized for so long. So I'm really glad that they're kind of giving her an opportunity to shine, especially against somebody like Bayley, because it's not a heel versus a face. It's just they're fighting because Bayley respects her.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'm going to ask this same question, and just hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
Because this match isn't as big as it should be, and it is SummerSlam. I'm sorry, it's not, because it's just Bayley and Ember Moon.
Right.
The way that they've been utilized. Do you think they might put Charlotte in that match?
I don't know if they're going to put Charlotte in the match, but I could definitely see if she's not in the match, I could see her interfering somehow, or even Sonya and Mandy interfering somehow, and then this is going to be where you have Sasha Banks coming back.
Okay. I don't know how you feel about Sasha Banks, but yes, she is coming back. Deal with it. She signed for an additional 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to release her. So.
Oh, no, and if you think about it, SummerSlam is the biggest show of the year, so there's no way, since she resigned, there is no way whatsoever that they're going to go SummerSlam without Sasha Banks.
I hope you're right. What do you think Charlotte might be involved in the Becky and Natalya match? What do you think about that? You think that? I mean, the guys said that there's a better chance of that happening than Bayley and Ember Moon.
I could possibly see that being the case. Just simply because if Sasha comes back, I think that one of two things are going to happen. It's either going to be to save Bayley, which I don't think it's going to be, because if they bring Sasha back, they need to bring her back as Sasha Banks and not fucking water down Sasha Banks. So I honestly think that either Bayley's going to retain that title, and music's gonna hit, and she's gonna be heel Sasha again, and she's gonna flip on Bayley. Either that, or Emperor's gonna win that title, and Sasha's gonna take it off of her like almost immediately.
I don't.
To avenge her friend.
why would I don't know why they would do that though.
I'm just saying, like,
I get what
it
you're
makes
saying.
sense a little bit,
I get
but
what
yes, I could see Charlotte interfering more with the Becky match just because there's no women on Raw.
Right, there is nobody. With that being said, oh, there is one thing we forgot to mention, and I actually did laugh during this segment. R-Truth and Carmella. I forgot to mention this. I actually did laugh during this because there was no match. Finally, there was no match. But the whole thing is, so Carmella's like looking for R-Truth. R-Truth is it's like, I'm here. Is that you, Carmella?
Follow my voice.
Follow my voice. So she does, and he comes up out of the fucking dryer or washer or whatever the fuck it was. And then he's made mention Kane must have fucking hidden one of those things before.
Yeah, he did.
And he goes, and there's no bathroom in here either. And I'm like, he probably took a shit. Go ahead.
That enhanced that right there when he said there's no bathroom in there is like Carmella looked in there and made like a grimacing face as if he had peed or something.
And then he's like, what made me laugh is R-Truth. It's not the belt itself. It was R-Truth himself. He said, I gotta defend the 48-7-24 I-92. Like, okay, man. What the fuck? I actually laughed.
The part that had me fucking laughing was when he went to get out of the
Okay, so I'm getting to there. The other part, then, I continued to laugh when he got out of the dryer. And the dryer fell over. He goes, man down!
Truth down!
It was fucking hilarious. Now, that was funny. And because we didn't get many comedy segments, except for the New Day with the cringe fucking bullshit that they did with Daniel Bryan, but I forgot to mention that segment.
Oh, it was so bad. It was so bad.
Why they overdid it like baseball.
They overdid it way too much.
But yes, but that I will give them credit. They did make me laugh during that segment with the 24/7 belt. I still don't like the belt. I still don't like it when they interrupt the fucking. Look, even though they're called the Viking Raiders, and everybody hates their fucking gimmick now because they're on the main roster, that's the problem. The name,
Raider Raiders?
The Raider Raiders, yeah.
Actually, I saw somewhere they're being called the Viking Warriors now.
Whatever.
That would make more fucking sense than the Raider Raiders.
It does.
Well,
it does.
did you hear what R-Truth said?
No, I did not.
He said that's the way he's gonna go hide out at Comic-Con, so they may be filming some stuff at Comic-Con this weekend.
No,
Okay.
Carmella wanted him to go to Comic-Con, and he didn't want to go to Comic-Con, but she's like, it's the...
I paid my dues.
Which is really funny if you know R-Truth's background, because he actually is a con.
Right.
Like, he was in prison at one point in time.
He was.
Stealing everyone's heart.
I paid my dues. Yes, I do remember that. I did my time. I paid my dues. It did have me laughing. I'm not gonna lie. But I don't like it when the 24/7 belt interrupts actual storytelling, like it did a couple of times. That's where it pisses me off, and I don't want anything to. As long as its own separate thing, I could probably get behind it. But right now, I can't because they keep interrupting important stuff, which makes no sense.
But if you notice this week on both shows, one, they didn't interrupt anything on either show. On each show, it was its own segment. And then the second part of it was, aside from the New Day, it was the only comedic relief on each show.
That is true. And as long as they keep it to a minimum and not every fucking segment is comedy upon comedy, I could probably get behind it. But right now, I'm still not a fan of the 24/7 belt concept. I'm not.
How can you not be with the fucking oh my god, with the fucking Spud gimmick shit? Yes, from Raw. Oh my god.
I just
Did you see the gif of Renee?
Yes.
No.
A new one
Corey
coming out.
Graves, like,
She tweeted it out. She replied to somebody who tweeted it out. And the tweet was, Renee is still at 0. Corey Rose is now at 3. And it's when Corey Graves sat there and said, I would have utilized the small package.
Oh.
Fucking Michael Cole couldn't even keep a straight face during
She's sitting there. On the side.
I mean, it's kind of hard to keep a straight face because, you know, it's...
And her reply to that tweet was, I stood 0 chance.
Yeah, there's no chance. Like, and you can see even with Michael Cole, like, because I watched that video back over and over again because it was fucking hilarious. But if you watch Michael Cole, you can see him smirking and trying not to laugh, and then he kind of puts his hand down or his mouth down into his hand.
Right. So, that being said, anybody else got anything they want to add? I mean, I watched NXT. Did you all watch NXT? Talk about that real quick.
The basement didn't.
I mean, they had Apollo Crews. Like I said, they had Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews beats Andrade, and then they have him in NXT the next fucking night. That makes no fucking sense to me. I know it's recorded. Still doesn't make any fucking sense to me. They made Andrade look fucking weak. That pissed me off. Because I don't like Andrade, but you've got him as one of your top guys, kind of, and you do him like that. I'm sorry, Apollo Crews is not a top guy. Never should be. Great in-ring talent, but he's a mid-carder at best. Lower mid-carder, not an upper mid-carder, like fucking Andrade. I didn't care for that. Adam Cole, I fucking hate this. You have to watch it, but I think Adam Cole and fucking Johnny Gargano are wrestling again at fucking TakeOver. I don't want to. Gargano better not fucking win because I do not want to see this fucking feud anymore. I'm done with it. I'm done with it. I was done with it a long time ago, and they keep fucking doing it. What else they got? Oh, the Street Profits. Now they're serious again. Fucking Christ. They're worse than a fucking politician. They flip-flop. Let's be jokey and then fucking, nope, let's be serious. I mean, they did say even though we do joke a lot, we are dead serious about these titles. Stop acting like fucking goons on fucking main roster. That's just me.
They can't.
I know, right? But other than that, one of the best things about the show is fucking Mia Yim beat the fucking shit out of Marina Schiffer. That was fucking hilarious. Shut the fucking door right on her face. Loved it.
I mean, my favorite match of the night tonight, we're talking about tonight's the NXT, right?
Yes.
Favorite match of the night was Kushida and Apollo Crews.
Actually, I'm going to disagree with you. Even though that was a good match, what match was that?
With Dexter?
Oh my god, Dexter is like creepy. Like he's just
the breakout tournament match. I actually like that match better. That Dexter Loomis guy, that guy is.
He's a creepy stalker.
I like his gimmick.
I like it too because it's very ominous, but it's just like super creepy.
This is the way that they should be doing Aleister Black.
Mm-hmm.
The way this guy is. You might like him, Basement. He's a great wrestler. Holy shit. His fucking in-ring, he's a 240-pound Ricochet.
And he's 6'2".
Yeah. He's really good. You have to check it out. I enjoyed it. Watch out for him because they talked a lot about him during the show tonight.
I actually really enjoyed what was the other guy's name? Reed? I really enjoyed him
Bronson
as well.
Reed. He's good too. Bronson Reed. He's like a Jeff Cobb style.
I was just going to say he reminded me so much of Jeff Cobb.
Yeah, he's good. I can get behind both of them. Bronson Reed ended up winning that match. I think Bronson Reed should win this tournament. My personal opinion. He has it's Australian strong style,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
which is I wish that the fucking Pete Dunne would fight like that. I might like him a little fucking more. Just
What's
saying.
wrong with British strong style, JP?
It's fucking boring.
Don't you?
It's all about manipulating
Joints. That
Joints.
Don't need manipulating.
That's not strong style. That's fucking Zack Sabre Jr. bullshit.
Shut your
But anyway, I'm going to end it here. I want to thank everybody for showing up. We're going to continue to try to get better. We know we went off on tangents. We kind of stayed on the straight and narrow tonight. But I did want to talk about NXT. I do like, if you haven't watched Dexter Lumis, watch him. He will shock you. I didn't think he would be able to do what he did, and he did it. So, I enjoyed it.
Okay, so hold on.
Yes.
Apparently, why in the chat earlier he was saying 3 stages of hell. Apparently on NXT, I'm thinking that Gargano and Cole are gonna do a 3 stages of hell match.
The last time anybody did 3 stages of hell, what's his name?
Austin and Triple H.
Austin and Triple H. What the fuck you talking about? I don't remember that.
That was the last time they did it. It was Austin and Triple H right before WrestleMania 17, and nothing came of it. Triple H won the match, and he didn't get shit for it.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway. Whatever. So they're trying to rehash old gimmicks. It's a gimmick match.
Yep.
I think Drake Maverick might be about to quit his in storyline as 205 Live GM because he beat the shit out of Canellis the other night, Mike. So I think he's ready to disappoint himself, and there might have to be changes made. So Mike, I think he's going to quit 205 Live as the GM.
Okay, well, that's travesty because what did he get made fun of for losing the 24/7 belt on his fucking honeymoon?
Yeah. Mike Canellis said, "You want to find me again?" And he started just running down. He was going to call Renee Michelle a bitch, and then Drake just punched him and beat the shit out of him.
A 150-pound guy beating up on a 200-pound guy. That's great.
That's good.
But I mean, let's get real. Anybody that's seen Spud wrestle before he came to WWE knows what he's capable of.
I know he can wrestle. I'm not saying he can't, but you gotta remember he's only 150 pounds.
Yeah, but when you snap, JP.
Sure, whatever. If you say so.
I do. No.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Shut
Yeah.
the fuck up. So
No, I shut the fuck up.
I will. I got my fucking finger on the fucking click button. Say another fucking word.
Do it.
That being said, y'all have a great night, and we will talk to you soon. Probably, maybe Friday. Hey, are we doing This Week in Wrestling at all? Friday? Thursday? Saturday? We can.
The way that he said that, he's like.
Well, we didn't do it. We didn't do it last week.
I don't know. Fuck, man. Well, yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Do it.
We'll do it Friday. We'll do it Friday. Hey, is that going to be on the Horny Goat Bobbit or no?
It's up to you, motherfucker.
Oh my
It's your
God.
show.
Fucking Jesus Christ. Idiot. It's your show.
Wait, put it on the horny goat, man. It
I'm
doesn't matter to me,
taking-
man.
I'm taking over that fucking show. Fuck you.
Oh my God.
So, that being said, we'll see you guys on Friday over at the Horny Goat, where we will be doing This Week in Wrestling. Y'all have a great night. Thanks for being here. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Motherfucker.
I'm just going to throw this out there. Thingy. Shut up the fucking outro. I didn't know it. Oh, so we're going to start streaming.